Welcome to my first ever Patreon community suggestions video. As you saw in the comments, Jeremy had a great idea with buying a cheap manual meat grinder and reviewing it. A bear suggested some country themed recipes, and both are great ideas and both will have separate videos. Let's get started by checking out this LHS meat grinder. I found this on Amazon for $25. It's made from almost all plastic parts and comes with a few accessories. But first off, thank you for clicking on this video. Show some love by giving it a like and subscribing too. It's got a pasta cutting attachment as well as a sausage stuffer, which are nice, but not what we're looking at today. It's a little grindy, but I'll let this slide since it was only 25 bucks. It comes with a fine grinding plate as well as a large grinding plate. Behind that are the knives. And this is the auger. Let's put this back together and see what it's all about. Oh, I didn't realize this was another part. This is the strangest plunger in existence. For stability, they've attached a suction cup to the bottom of it. This is really nice because most manual grinders I've used are clamped on the side of the table, which can be quite annoying. The only downside of the suction cup may be if your tables aren't completely smooth. To test the grinder, I'm going to be grinding a pork roast and some bacon for a UK pork pie recipe video. It will be linked on the top right hand corner of this video. When using a meat grinder, especially one this small, it's a good idea to cut everything into smaller chunks. I went with about 1 inch by 1 inch pieces for my meat. I then laid all the pieces out into a tray because we also need to get these chunky pork pieces a little firm in the freezer before starting to grind it. Next up is the same with the bacon, just chunky pork pieces like before. Slap this onto your tray and throw the whole thing into a freezer for no more than 30 minutes. To set up our station for grinding, suction it down to the edge of a table and place a sheet tray or bowl underneath it. I was testing the waters with the first piece to see how it would handle it, and I was very immediately surprised to see it working so well. I placed in handfuls and gradually increasing how much I put in until I found the upper limit of basically the entire bowl. When using this, fill it about halfway to make it easier to grind. The bacon wasn't a problem at all, mostly because it didn't get super firm in the freezer like the pork roast did. Well, that went over much better than I expected. This is actually the first issue I've had. The ring that holds everything together got a little stuck, but with a little coaxing, it was finally off. I'm taking it apart to see if it will melt in the dishwasher. It's honestly pretty thick plastic, so I think it should be fine. I broke it down into all of its pieces and ran it through our commercial dishwasher that gets over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And yes, it does well in a dishwasher. If you don't have a dishwasher, I suggest that you leave it soaking in a sink with very hot water and a degreaser dish soap like Dawn to help break down the fat. Either way you do it, just make sure you thoroughly dry every piece. Drying the metal pieces will keep them from rusting, and drying the plastic pieces will keep them from molding as well as keeping moisture away from the metal pieces. Overall, I'd say this thing is pretty nice for the money. If you're wanting to grind your meats without spending a ton of money on a grinder, this may be just what you need. I see this lasting for a good long while if you use it a couple times a week max and make sure you properly clean it and dry it. I give this $25 meat grinder from Amazon 4.5 out of 5 slices of trash cheese.